Criterion number one is to take on a global problem. At Manatech, we chose malnutrition because we believe it is the most significant problem that faces us as a generation. And here's why. According to UNICEF, malnutrition kills 5 million children under the age of 5 every year in developing countries. Hey, that's one child every 6 seconds. According to the New York Times, between 1/3 and 1/2 of all childhood deaths in the world are linked to malnutrition. Now, folks, there's a lot of problems out there, but when something is linked to the death of half of all the children, you got to move that to the top of the list. And you know what? We all have to be concerned about this problem because the lack of proper nutrition is no longer just a developing world problem. It is a global epidemic. What do I mean? Take a look at these two pictures. What do you think these kids have in common? The child on the left is obviously underfed and therefore undernourished. That is classic malnutrition. How about the child on the right? Overfed and undernourished. It might surprise you to know that micronutrient deficiency is the missing link in overweight children. New studies show that the odds of being overweight or obese are 80.8% higher for children deficient in essential vitamins and minerals. In other words, folks, these kids are being overfed but are starving at the cellular level for the essential nutrients required to keep them healthy. So what kind of foods are these kids eating? Well, it's called processed food, and here's the problem. Approximately 90% of the money Americans spend on food is used to buy processed food. You say, what's processed food? I love this description. It says a lot of what we see in the supermarket, I would argue, is not really food. It's what I call edible food-like substances. So what's an edible food-like substance? Well, take a look at this picture. Which of these two bowls of fruit do you think offers the best nutritional value? And here's what's sad. The bowl of fruit-flavored cereal on the right is the closest thing that a lot of children will get to actual fruit. But you know, even when we dedicate ourselves to eating healthy, eating fruits and vegetables, it's becoming harder and harder to meet our nutritional requirements because today's fruits and vegetables are not as vitamin-rich as they have been in the past. Modern farming techniques designed to grow fruits and vegetables faster and bigger have compromised the nutritional value of our most popular foods. Now, the USDA actually tracks the quality of our food and makes recommendations for what we should eat to stay healthy. For example, in 1995, the USDA recommended that adults eat 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Look what's happened today. The recommended daily servings for adults has increased to 7 to 13. And here's the question, is anybody doing that? According to recent statistics, no one is. Now, what's the consequence of not eating what is required to keep us healthy? Well, it's a pretty easy equation. It's called poor health. And according to the World Health Organization, the United States has now dropped to 72nd out of 191 countries in the world in terms of level of health of population. Time magazine, in their cover story, The Scary State of American Health, put it this way. Despite advances in medicine, Americans are less healthy than we used to be. Now, why is that? Well, it's because advances in medicine don't make up for nutritional deficiencies. And they went on to say, in the next generation may be even worse off. Well, how do you get worse off? It's called legacy, and this is what's happening to our children. For the first time in over 100 years, the quality of life and life expectancy of our children might actually drop. And you know, folks, that's why this problem of poor nutrition is something that we have got to pay attention to.